For the coming festive season, which is Hari Raya, a lot of us will be going back to Kampung, or back to hometown, for those of you who are not going to Kampung. So there will be a lot of traffic on the road, and there will be a lot of people who will be driving for the once in a year exodus back to hometown, or maybe twice, 3 times a year. So there's going to be a lot of traffic on the road, and there's going to be a lot of drivers who are not so experienced on the road. There's going to be a lot of cars that break down, and there's going to be, as usual, a lot of horrible accidents. And the sad thing about festive season is usually cars are laden up with people, and it's people that you love, okay, that are traveling with you. So therefore, you owe it to yourself, to at least watch this video and take heed of some of the tips which we're trying to share with you, and hopefully help to keep you safe. Now, if you're traveling short distance, it's not so critical, so you can do anything just about anyhow you want to do it, okay? But if you're driving for long distances, there are certain things you should do before you leave. Okay, so one is you should know your route and how far you have to travel, okay? Then, of course, you got to also know what car you're going to drive. I wouldn't borrow my uncle's car, and collect it just the day before I leave and then start off, You need to know the condition of the car, so therefore you should send it. If you're having a car, even if you're borrowing a car, well, get it earlier and get used to the car and get it serviced, check the brakes, the tires, check the wheel alignment. Because if you're driving from here to Alostar and you have a car that's pulling to one side, it's going to be very tiring. Also, if you have a car that pulls to one side when you're braking, and if you're braking very hard for an emergency, the chances of you going out of control are much greater. So wheel alignment, brakes, very important. Also, the tires, is there enough tread? Okay. If there is less tread, then you might want to change the tire. Or is the tire cracked? Check the condition of the tire. Tires that are too old can blow out. Okay. And of course, before you start on the journey, at least a day before, after you have done all the service checks and all that, what I would do is I would check the tire pressures one more time before I leave, and make sure the tire pressures are correct. Overinflation can cause you problems with grip, and underinflation can cause you problems also with grip, and also underinflation can also cause tires to burst. Okay, then you have to ask yourself, is there enough seat? Is it comfortable for all the people in the car? Because if it's not, then you may have to get a bigger car. So it's based on the number of people you have to carry and all that. Then if you are traveling in a group, decide who's going to drive. Always put the best driver to drive, and if you have to share the drive, let the best driver drive first, and then if you're not so good a driver, you might consider not wanting to drive, okay? Or if you drive, maybe you want to consider driving for not so long, and maybe you want to take the highway stretch. So if you have two drivers, let the better driver take the trunk roads, because that one involves traffic and all that, and also there are more corners, and the not so good driver take the highway stretch. Okay, so what do I mean by not so good driver? Not so good driver doesn't mean you're a poor driver, there's always differences in the level and standard of driving. So in short lah, okay, I mean, if you're a hopeless driver, then please don't drive. If your driver is tired, stop someplace to sleep, okay? Now generally don't drive more than 2 hours. That is a sort of a guide lah. Of course some people can drive longer, but the moment you feel sleepy or drowsy, then you should stop. And if you're a passenger in the car, keep an eye out on the driver and also keep an eye on the road. Now that's so much about preparations and who should drive and all that. On the road, there are a few things you should note. First is your driving. Don't drive too fast, okay? But don't drive too slow either. So drive at a speed that you can drive, and try not to be a hindrance to other cars, okay? So you should, like what I'm doing now, move over to the left if you are going slow. I'm now going at the speed limit, okay? And I'm moving to the left, okay? Then if you have to overtake, do come out to overtake, but don't forget to go back, okay? So I'm in the middle lane now and I'm overtaking, but there's another car in front, so I'm just going to stay here. Now when you are changing lanes, make sure to signal, especially if you are coming out to overtake, yeah? And after you've done your overtaking, please don't forget to go back to your lane. Why do I say this? This is because you are part of an ecosystem called traffic, yeah, and you need to blend in with the rest of them. So you don't want to be a rolling stone in a little stream, yeah. You are causing impedance to other people. You are like a roadblock, a moving chicane, okay? So if the traffic is going at 100 kilometers per hour, you should try to follow the same speed. That way you'll be okay, okay? And also try to keep a distance, don't bunch up. And to me, what I would do is I would try to get out of the traffic. If they're going too slow for me, I get away from them, because driving together in a bunch is not the best thing to do. Especially now with the new tinting, you have glasses, windscreens that are so dark you can't see through, and if you're following a bus, definitely you cannot see through, yeah? So vision is important. Try to go on a clear road if it is possible. And also the other thing is, when you get to what you call off ramps, where exits, like exit to Sramban and all that, and Aikro, there tends to be a lot of traffic, and so do not encroach onto the main lanes, yeah. They have lanes for you to keep to the left and get off the highway. So what happens at these intersections is people get impatient, then they start hogging the lanes and cause a big blockage. And what happens when other people come along at the back? There's a huge jam. Why? Because of the traffic that is, or drivers who are inconsiderate and block the lanes. And so we are very clever to blame other people. Hey, the fellow like that, go and block the lane and then cause me all the trouble. But if you are the one who is going on the exit, please do your part. Don't be a part of the problem, okay? Be a part of the solution, and behave yourself. Go into the proper lane, line up, okay? If you line up, it's faster than if you try to force your way in, okay? And then always give way to traffic. Give way. It doesn't hurt to give way to other people, okay? Don't get involved with road rage and all that. Okay, you also need to follow the rules in terms of lane discipline, okay, keep to your lane, signal if you need to change lanes, come back to your lane after you have done your overtaking and all that, and try not to overtake on the left unless you really meet a complete idiot who is hogging the right hand lane. And I bet you will meet a lot of them, because some of these people just drive once a year, and there are people who actually believe that they are entitled to stay in the fast lane just because they are driving at a speed limit. Okay, you can't save the world, so you save yourself. Okay, most important thing is keep yourself safe. And things to look out for when on the road is, if you see anything that is dangerous, slow down. Okay, if you see a motorbike like just now hesitating, slow down, see what he wants to do. Okay, because he might just suddenly decide to dart out, and then he doesn't know that you are there. Okay, so take some care that we do not kill any motorcyclists. Yeah. So follow at a correct distance, signal your intentions, look in your rear view mirrors. Good driver uses his mirrors at least once in every 5 to 7 seconds. Yeah? And that is to be aware of what is happening around you. Now, in terms of being aware, it's not just the mirror. You have to be very aware of the situation around you. Okay, like for example, if you're driving in traffic, if you see something happening in front that could be a potential danger, it could be anything. Yeah, you should slow down already. Don't be slow to react. So things like if you see brake lights come on, or if you see some dust, or you see at night, you see flashing lights here and there in front of you, you should slow down, because it means there's something happening in the front. Okay, so dust is because if a car just crashes, you will see dust, you will see things flying in the air. Okay, you must also be aware of what other drivers are doing. See, like for example, this driver was not sure whether he wanted to overtake or not. Then he saw me coming, then he braked. So we don't know if he's still going to come out, because don't forget, during festive season, you get a lot of drivers who hardly ever drive. They don't know exactly what to do. So even at intersections, you see cars sometimes hesitating, and they don't know whether they want to turn left or go straight, because they don't know the way. So you can see, if you are very alert, you can see what people are, you can actually literally see what people are thinking. So you must be careful of last minute lane changes, and also afternoon at around 2 to 3 o'clock, after people have eaten, that is when they get drowsy. So same thing at night, around 8 to 9 o'clock, people get drowsy because they eat and then they drive, then they get drowsy. And when they are drowsy, they do funny things, like you can find the car wandering, over the lane and things like that. So anyway, important thing is be aware of what's happening around you and drive accordingly. So what we need to do is to drive to survive, yeah? And then we'll get to see another day safely. Everybody that is with you is safe. Okay, so these are just some of the pointers. We hope you have a nice holiday, and we hope you keep safe. And also, we hope that you help to keep others safe. Okay. So thank you for watching, and Selamat Hari Raya to all my Muslim friends and viewers, and also happy holidays to everybody else. Thank you. Bye bye.